Well, looking at that sun, it could be mistaken for a Caribbean paradise, but we are still here at the Oaktree Arena, home of the Somerset Rebels. Well, the sun has been like this pretty much all week, and it looks set to continue, so hopefully that's going to prove some good racing tonight, where we see the Plymouth Devils take on the Somerset Rebels. Well, we'll pop into the pits now and see if we can grab a couple of words before the meeting. So with James right now, first of all, welcome back to Speedway. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels a bit, just come back with a different approach and just enjoy myself. There's obviously going to be a bit of pressure with this being my previous home track, but yeah, they're a good team, Somerset. I'm just going to go out there race by race and just enjoy myself and hopefully come away with a bag full of points.
Well, we see you down here most weeks anyway, obviously with your brother, and you do take a couple of spins after the meeting. Is the track pretty similar to then?
Well, obviously it's after the meeting, so the track's hell of a lot different to when you're riding it, and obviously I've got another 3 riders with me this time instead of going around on my own, making it look easy. So yeah, just enjoy myself. I can make some good starts tonight, or maybe, you know, do a bit of passing as well, hopefully. But I was going there to have fun, really, just enjoy it on the bike and not be too tense and everything. And
how's it been going into the Plymouth team as well? They've obviously had quite a mix-up with riders coming in and out as well. Have they managed to fit you in really, really well?
Yeah, I mean, Plymouth have been after me since day one, since the beginning of the year, and I've had few clubs ringing me up all season, so I just kind of felt the time was kind of right. The fixture list is quite good for me, really, with my work, so everything had to be in the right place, really, and everything seemed to work out well for myself, so I just thought, why not? What have I got to lose, really? So just go out and enjoy it and then see where it takes me after the end of the year.
And finally now, we've already got 2 brothers racing in the Somerset team. You're obviously in tonight. Is there going to be a bit of friendly but quite brotherly rivalry as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think my brother's more wound up than I am, really. He's been having a few digs here and there, but I think it's always been the same. When you race against your brother, you always try and put that bit more effort in, but at the end of the day, when we clash in whatever heat we're in, we'll see what happens. But he's been riding really well this year, so it's only my second meeting back, so we'll see what we can do, see if I can push him.
Well, good luck for this evening.
Thank you.
Garry May's just going to come and have an interview after psyching himself up, so we're going to grab you for a quick interview. Yeah. How do you think tonight's meeting is going to go? Obviously, it's always going to be tough, especially coming in after that loss at Ipswich last night.
Yeah, but yeah, they're a good side now. They've strengthened up with Wright and dropped to Simota at the reserve, who's got going. They're going to be a good side now.
And 3 ex-Rebels as well. That's always going to be in their favour.
Yeah. Cole Newman will want to prove a point, and the others will do as well. Yeah, so it'll be good.
And now looking towards the end of the season, it's been a bit up and down for the Rebels. Obviously, really upsetting in the Premier League peers to finish second. What are your sights set on now?
Just make the playoffs now, and then go from there, and then try and win the league.
I know the team's still really gelling together as well, because obviously at the beginning of the season we've seen how well they work together as a team. Is that still there?
Yeah, still there, yeah. We just had a little blip at Ipswich, but Ipswich are a good side. That's not second in the league for nothing. And basically last night, if you didn't gate, then you didn't score points. And I had 3 or 4 riders gate and they won races, so it just proves who it was. And I think there was a 1 overtake all night, so that's how it was up there. We weren't gating, so that was it.
And we know around here that we can gate, and we've had some fantastic victories so far this season already.
Yeah. And if you can get to the playoffs and get to the final, it's all about aggregate scores then, and that's it. So we're good round here, and we've just got to keep it going.
Well, fingers crossed and good luck for this evening.
Thank you very much. See you, bye.
Devils, riding at number 1, England international, Plymouth Devils captain, up there with every crowd wherever he rides, Ben Barker. Partnered at number 2 for 3 of the races tonight by guest Halsey. Number 3 for the Devils, Danish rider Rasmus Jensen. And number 4, a real welcome back to Newman. Riding at number 5 tonight, you know him well, former Rebel himself, James Wright. Riding at number 6, Czechoslovakian international, Simota. Zenek was asked to call in Sam throughout the meeting, so there you go, Sam Simota. And riding at number 7, James Shades. Over to the Rebel side, riding at number 1, Nick Morris. Partnered at number 2 by Charles Wright. Number 3 tonight, Brady Kurtz. Partnered at number followed by Pontus Aspgren. At number 5, club skipper Olly Allen. At 6, Todd Kurtz. And at number 7, Starke.
So as all 4 riders come up to the tapes, ready for the start of tonight's meeting with the Somerset Rebels taking on the Plymouth Devils. Off gate number 1 in yellow, Daniel Halsey, a guest in for Joseph Frank, who's unfortunately had to go to Czech Republic for a meeting that he already had scheduled in before he joined the Plymouth Devils. Next to him in blue, Charles Wright for the Rebels. Gate number 3 in white, Ben Barker, and off the outside in red, Nick Morris. Now, the last time that Plymouth were here, Ben Barker and Nick Morris were both missing from the teams as they had illegally duties that they had to attend. Wonder who's going to come out on top this evening. Both absolutely amazing riders. Just have to wait and see as the starter marshal moves away and the tapes go up on heat number 1, and it is an amazing start for that rider in white, Ben Barker. 8th front, extending his lead already down the back straight ahead of Nick Morris in yellow, and now battling hard in 3rd and 4th place. Charles Wright trying to go around the outside but not quite there, ripping his tear off of his helmet. Is he going to try and do it this time? Not quite. Again, a fantastic move by Daniel Halsey, and now Charles Wright, as I say that, an amazing move from him up the inside. Dust has already started to pick up here. It's a scorching summer's evening here at the Oaktree Arena tonight. They go down the back straight and about to go into the final lap of heat number 1. Out front, still in white, Ben Barker. Nick Morris still trying to hunt him down, but it looks like he's going to have to settle for 2nd place. And back in 3rd place in blue, Charles Wright. A good opening for the Devils, keeping the Rebels to just a shared heat with Ben Barker in white taking the win. 2nd in red, Nick Morris, and 3rd in blue, Charles Wright. So a 3-all to start the meeting, completely unfazed in that race. Ben Barker from start to finish, he made that start and then he just held on to it the whole way around. An awesome race for him. Onto the reserve race now. Shared heat in the first one. Is anyone going to come out on top in heat number 2? Off the inside in red, Todd Kurtz. Next to him in white, Simota. Gate number 3 in blue, Paul Starke. And off the outside in yellow, James Shanes. Now it's James's first meeting here at the Oaktree Arena. He's going to be looking to put in some big scores. He's up against some experienced riders though on the inside of him. The tapes go up on heat number 2. And it is James Shanes. He's trying to go around the outside of that 1st and 2nd bend, but the rider in red, Todd Kurtz, made the start and is now getting away from them out in front. So rider in red, Todd Kurtz out in front. Sam Simota's trying desperately to get up the inside. He's trying everything he can. As I say that, Paul Starke also manages to come into 3rd place. Superb move from him to take the Rebels onto a heat advantage at the moment. But Sam Simota is certainly not giving up. It looks like Todd Kurtz is just ahead for now as he goes down the back straight and looks like he's extended his lead even further. Todd Kurtz out in front then, Sam Simota back in 2nd place and back in 3rd place in blue for the Rebels, Paul Starke. Paul looks like he's having a go now, Sam Simota, but it just looks like they've settled down to finish the race. The checker flag comes out, this time for a Rebels rider in the shape of Todd Kurtz. A sensational win from him. He made an awesome start and then led the race from there. 2nd in white, Sam Simota for the Plymouth Devils, and then 3rd in blue, Paul Starke. So 4-2 heat advantage in the 2nd heat means the progressive scores now are 7 points to 5. As the 4 riders get ready to line up then for heat number 3, off the inside in white for the Devils, Rasmus Jensen. Rode here a couple of weeks ago in the Premier League Pairs with his partner out on track as well tonight. Next to him in blue, Pontus Aspgren for the Rebels. Gate number 3 in yellow, looking to prove a point now, an ex-Somerset Rebels rider. The fans still love him. He was here, as I said, with Rasmus for the Premier League pace and scored 10 points that evening. So I'm sure he's going to be looking to emulate that tonight. Kyle Newman is that rider of gate number 3. And then off the outside, in red, Brady Kurtz. This should certainly be an interesting race. All 4 riders more than capable of scoring big points around the Oaktree Arena tonight. Little bit of movement there at the start, but the race is carrying on. Pontus Aspgren going to the front, and a sensational swoop around the outside from Brady Kurtz in red, coming to second place. But watch out, Kyle Newman is trying to do exactly the same thing right around the outside. It looks like he's going to get Brady Kurtz. Is he going to take Pontus as well? Is he there? He's there. A fantastic move by Kyle Newman. That is why the fans loved him here last year. That is why the Plymouth Devil fans love him as well. A superb move from the youngster, now leading the way out in front, with the Rebels riders now fighting for second and third place. Well, Kyle Newman, I said he's got a point to prove. He's done it already after his first race. Still holding on to the lead, but Pontus now trying to go up the inside. Pontus Aspgren really trying his hardest to get up the inside of Kyle Newman. Kyle just holding on. Is he going to go for a swoop now around the outside? It's going to be close. But it is Kyle Newman that manages to get the win in heat number 3. A superb race between those 2 riders out in front. Pontus Aspgren just having to settle for second place. And then back in third place, Brady Kurtz in red. So another shared heat in this evening's meeting, meaning the progressive scores now after 3 races, 10 points to 8. And as you can see there, Kyle Newman coming around to the applause of the fans, not just the Plymouth fans that have travelled up here tonight, but also the Somerset fans. He's a firm favourite wherever he goes, and you can hear that from the crowd. On to heat number 4 then, off the inside in yellow, James Shanes. Next to him in blue, Paul Starke. Gate number 3 in white, James Wright. And off the outside in Olly Allen in red. And it is Olly Allen that makes the start and now leads the rest of the pack down that back straight. His partner in blue, Paul Starke, a much better ride from him. And sorry, it is Paul Starke. I was getting confused then, thinking that it might have been Todd Kurtz, but a superb move, as I was getting a bit confused, from the rider in white, James Wright, to come into second place. We spoke to him earlier. He's had a couple of outings on this track, but like he said, he normally comes out after the meeting. Now he's in the meeting with 3 other riders on the track with him, but he's managed to get into second place for the Devils with that wonderful move on Paul Starke. But the rider out in front as we go into the final lap in red, Olly Allen, completely unfazed by what is going on behind him, extending his lead even further. This is what we expect to see from the captain around the Oaktree Arena. He drops a couple of points a meeting. He has been on superb form the whole season for the Rebels, and he's shown that once again in heat number 4, taking the win ahead of the rider in white, James Wright, and the rider coming in third place, Paul Starke. So 4-2 to the Rebels in this heat means now that they extend their lead after my bit of a mistake. So the eagle-eyed among you will have already noticed, it took me 3 heats to make that mistake. So it was a 2-4, in the previous race. So a heat advantage to the Devils. Heat advantage to the Rebels now means that it is 13 points to 11. In this race now, it's going to be Brady Kurtz looking to make up for that heat 3 where he failed to score any points. So he goes off the inside in red. Next to him in yellow, Daniel Halsey. Gate number 3 in blues, we just wait for him to come up to the tapes, is Pontus Aspgren. And off the outside in white is Ben Barker. And this should certainly be an interesting race. Ben Barker was sensational in his first outing, taking the win over Nick Morris in heat number 1. But as we saw, Pontus Aspgren did not give up in heat number 3. He pushed Kyle right until the line. Is he going to do the same now with Ben Barker? The tapes go up, we'll just have to wait and see, but it is Ben Barker that makes superb start once again right around the outside of Brady Kurtz. Can he get there, or is Brady just holding on? He's leaving him no room down that back straight. Brady's still got the lead at the moment, still pushing Barker wide. Barker's not giving up though. An excellent race from him there, but now he's just had to back off a little bit as he makes a slight mistake on that first and second bend, which means that Brady Kurtz now leads the way out in front with a comfortable distance between him and Ben Barker back in second place. Pontus Aspgren filling in to third place for the Rebels to give them a heat advantage so far in the heat. As we go into the final lap, this is the Brady Kurtz that we're used to seeing around the Oaktree Arena. A minor blip in his first outing, but he's certainly put that to rest in heat number 5 as he goes into the third and fourth bend for the final time in this race. And the checker flag comes out for Brady Kurtz in red. Second in white, Ben Barker, and third in blue, Pontus Aspgren. So the second consecutive 4-2 for the Somerset Rebels in the meeting so far means that it now puts them onto 17 points and the visitors, Plymouth Devils, onto 13. As Brady comes around there, it was an absolutely cracking race between him and Ben Barker at the start of that. He really, really wanted that win, kept pushing Barker further and further out, and he finally got it in heat number 5. Well, I'm sure this is the race that some people have been waiting to see. The Wright brothers out on track together in heat number 6. So off the inside it is James Wright in white. Next to him in red, Nick Morris for the Rebels. Gate number 3 in yellow, Sam Simota, and off the outside in blue, Charles Wright. The Rebels go into this race with a 4-point lead after the 5 previous races. The tapes go up, and an excellent start there from James Wright in white. Now Charles bombing up the inside of Nick Morris. Both of the Rebels riders trying to go around the outside of James Wright at the same time. And bit of trouble there for Charles Wright in blue. Absolutely beside himself, as you can see him back out in front. Now there's still a huge battle going on as Nick Morris gets the better of James Wright down that back straight. So it's Nick Morris out in front for the Rebels. Second in white, James Wright, and third in yellow, Sam Simota. Well, what a race that was in just the first 2 laps. Charles Wright unfortunately pulled out and now on the centre green, but his teammates in red leading the way for the Rebels in this race, out in front from James Wright in second. James has had 2 amazing rides so far this evening, really showing his class on the bike as the checker flag comes out for the riders in heat number 6. So it was Nick Morris who took the win in red, second in white, James Wright, and third in yellow, Sam Simota. Well, another shared heat for this evening's meeting, meaning now that the points go on to 20 points to 16. The Rebels have still got that 4-point advantage. Going into heat number 7 then, well, there's 3 riders out on the track for this race that have all got a win underneath their belt already this evening. One of those riders off the inside in red, Captain Fantastic for the Rebels, Olly Allen. Next to him in white, Rasmus Jensen. Off gate number 3 in blue, Todd Kurtz. And off the outside in yellow, Kyle Newman. Well, we've seen some fantastic racing from these 4 riders in this race already this evening. Kyle Newman had that sensational race with Pontus Aspgren in his first outing, just managing to get the better of him as they crossed the finish line. Are we going to see a similar battle now with the other Rebels riders in this race? We've seen Olly Allen and Todd Kurtz already coming out and winning their first races in this evening's meeting. I'm sure they're going to be looking to continue that fantastic form now. As we just wait for the final rider to come up to the tapes for heat number 7. The start marshal moves away. Oh, and a little bit of movement again there, this time from the rider in yellow. The red lights have come on as Kyle Newman swoops around the outside on that first and second bend. The red lights have come on. There was movement at the start line, but we'll just wait for official confirmation. And it will be all 4 riders back, but Kyle Newman getting a warning from the referee for moving in that race. So as we just wait for them to come straight back up to the tapes, nice to see them coming straight back round to the tapes instead of going back into the pits in between. Ben Barker just coming out onto the centre green as well, captain for the Devils, coming out to see how his team are getting on in this race. And as you can see there, a bit of work being done to Rasmus Jensen's bike. I'm not sure whether he quite realised that his mechanic was behind him then, but having some last minute work done to his machinery before the rerun of heat number 7. I'm sure Carl Newman will be looking to emulate what he just did in the first run of the race. Oh, obviously without the little bit of the jump, but he did make a sensational swoop around the outside onto that first and second bend as they all come underneath starting orders now, ready for the rerun of heat number 7. No movement this time, and Carl Newman makes a good start again. Is he going to go for that big swoop? It looks like he's just going to be shut out by his own teammates, which means that the Rebels riders can get into first and second. And now coming up the inside, Rasmus Jensen, a superb move from him. He's pushing Todd Kurtz wider and wider there on that home straight, just managing to get the better of him. Todd trying to come back up the inside as we go down the back straight. We know from the Kurtz brothers that they never give up. Todd Kurtz is going to hunt him down now, but it looks like Rasmus has just got hold of that second place, with Olly Allen comfortably out in front. Unfortunate there for Carl Newman, he just got squeezed out on that first and second bend, and now he is trailing at the back. So as we go into the final lap, the riders starting to space out a little bit in this race. Olly Allen out in front, Rasmus Jensen in second place, and Todd Kurtz in third place. Well, someone had to give in this race. It wasn't going to be Olly Allen though, as he crosses the finishing line in style, taking the win for the Rebels in heat number 7. Second in white, Rasmus Jensen for the Devils, and third in blue, Todd Kurtz. So another 4-2 in favour of the Rebels means they extend their lead a little bit further, 24 points to 18. As you can see there, captain coming around after his superb win in heat number 7. He does just look completely unstoppable sometimes around the Oaktree Arena, and it looks like it's set to be another evening like that for him now. Well, I'm not quite sure what Charles Wright is doing down there. His mechanic throws something across the track. Sorry, not Charles Wright even. Yeah, sorry, Charles Wright in red. Not quite sure what he was doing, whether he was messing around with the track, messing around with his machinery, jumping back on his bike now though and coming back up to the pits. Looks like maybe he was doing a little bit of gardening on his hands and knees, just so he could get the best possible start from gate number 3. But off the inside in blue for the Rebels, Paul Starke, he's going to be looking to pick up some more points. He's had 2 third places so far this evening, but we know what he's capable of around this racetrack. Will we be able to see it in this race now? Next to him in yellow, James Shane's yet to score a point for the Devils. Off gate number 3, that man that we were just talking about at the beginning, Charles Wright. And off the outside in white, a reserve replacement, Sam Simota coming in to replace Daniel Halsey. So as the riders come out of the tapes, it's a good start by the rider in white, Sam Simota, trying to go around the outside, but again, exactly the same move as Kyle Newman, which allows the rider in blue, Paul Starke, to take the lead down the back straight. Charles Wright now swooping around the outside. Remember, he made that mistake on that third and fourth bend, which cost him the race in his previous item, but he's managed to keep control. He's in second place now, but he's being hunted down by the rider in yellow, James Shanes. He's not giving up. He's trying everything in third place. It looks like Charles has just got to grips with that second place now, and out in front, completely unfazed by what is going on behind him, Paul Starke. Well, this would be the first 5-1 of the evening if it stays as it is as we go into the final lap, but you cannot rule out James Shanes. He is trying everything to get up there with Charles Wright. It looks like Charles has just got it sewn up in second place as they go down the back straight, but a superb ride from these 3 riders out in front. Paul Starke taking the victory in heat number 8. Second place in red goes to Charles Wright, and third place in yellow to James Shanes. So the first 5-1 of the evening goes in favour of the home team, the Somerset Rebels, making the progressive scores now 29 points to 19. The Rebels opening up a 10-point lead after that excellent 5-1 from Paul Starke and Charles Wright. Well, no surprises really in heat number 9. We thought we'd see a tactical ride, and Plymouth haven't failed us there. As you can see, the rider off gate number 2 in the white and black helmet colour, James Wright, comes out as the tactical ride in this race. So as long as he finishes in front of an opposing rider, his points will be doubled. The Devils looking to try and pull back some of that 10-point lead that the Rebels have got going into this race, as we just wait for his teammate Sam Simota to come out onto track. We've just been over here that there's 30 seconds left for him to get out onto the racetrack as James Wright pulls back away to go and psych himself up maybe before the start of this heat. So now, so we just wait for the riders to come out. I'm just being given my instructions now by Steve to do the lineup as the riders do come back up to the tapes. So off the inside in blue, Pontus Aspgren for the Rebels. Next to him in white and black helmet colour, the rider we were just talking about, James Wright. Off gate number 3 in red, Brady Kurtz. And off the outside, in yellow, Sam Simota. As I said, the Devils are looking to claw back some points in this race. Both riders more than capable, but then up against this Rebel pairing, we've seen how strong they are. They were consistently getting 5-1s. Are they going to do that now? It is the Rebels team that get the gate. But as I say that, James Wright, what a move up the inside. But Pontus Aspgren just holding the line around him on that back straight. And now Brady looks set to do exactly the same thing as they both storm past him. A superb move by Brady Kurtz. Such style on the bike as they go down the back straight. This isn't paying off for the Devils at the moment. James Wright isn't giving up though. He's trying everything to come back at Brady Kurtz, but it looks like they've just settled down for the time being. Out in front in blue, Pontus Aspgren, ahead of his teammates in red, Brady Kurtz, and back in third place in the white and black helmet colour, James Wright. Well, who would have thought that by putting the tactical ride in heat number 9, this would be the outcome. We've seen some excellent battles so far this evening, but it's the Rebels that come out on top in heat number 9. Pontus Aspgren taking the win ahead of his teammates in red, Brady Kurtz, and back in third place, James Wright. So the tactical didn't do anything for the Devils in that race. Instead, it was a 5-1 heat advantage to the Rebels, which means they extend their lead further now after 9 heats. 34 points to 20. It's now a 14-point gap as both riders pull wheelies down the home straights. Unfortunate for Plymouth there. They tried their best with that tactical ride, but it just wasn't to be up against the fantastic pairing of Pontus Aspgren and Brady Kurtz. Well, what can Devils do now in heat number 10? 14 points difference going into this race. And after that fail in the tactical ride in heat number 9, it falls to Rasmus Jensen and Kyle Newman in this race to try and claw some points back for the Devils. Now off the inside in blue, Charles Wright for Somerset. Next to him in yellow, Kyle Newman. Gate number 3 in red, Nick Morris. And from the outside in white, Rasmus Jensen. As the tapes go up there, it looked like Kyle Newman got another flying start, but it's actually Charles Wright now that takes the lead down the back straight. And what a ride from his teammate in red, Nick Morris, showing his style and class around the Oaktree Arena track as Kyle Newman follows suit as well, also going around the outside, or attempting to go around the outside of Charles Wright. Is he going to get there now? It looks like he's just got the speed to go past him down that back straight. Kyle Newman still desperately trying to hold on. Charles Wright coming back up the inside. It looks like Kyle's just got the right line though to hold on to that second place and split the Rebels pairing. As we go into the final lap then of heat number 10, there's still battling out going on in second place position. Charles Wright now going for that huge sweep around the outside. Is he going to do it? An amazing ride there from Charles Wright. Exactly what Kyle Newman did to him, and now Kyle's coming right back at him, but Charles Wright just holding on to that second place. Well, Kyle pulled that move on Charles Wright earlier on in the race. Charles Wright gave it right back at him at the end. As you can see, so happy with that second place there, following his teammate in red home, Nick Morris, to get the 5-1 for the Somerset Rebels. Kyle Newman in yellow taking third place. Shaking the hands there. What a superb race from those two riders. Nick Morris getting the win. Charles Wright getting second. So another 5-1, the third 5-1 on the trot for Somerset Rebels. They now seem unstoppable in this evening's meeting, with the progressive scores being 39 points to 21. Well, the second tactical ride now coming out for the Devils in heat number 11. No surprises that Ben Barker's got that white and black helmet colour on in this race. So he goes off the inside for the Devils. Next to him in red, he's going to have a really tough challenge up against this rider, Olly Allen. 2 rides, 2 wins from the captain for the Rebels so far. And he did look unstoppable in those 2 heats as well. Gate number 3 in yellow, Daniel Halsey. And off the outside, in blue, Todd Kurtz. Well, the Devils do need to start pulling some points back. 18 points difference after 10 heats now. We saw that the tactical ride in 2 heats previous to this with James Wright didn't pull anything off for the Devils. Will they be able to get something out of it this time round? I'm sure that they are going to try their absolute hardest. Ben Barker, we know what he can do around this track, around any track that he rides. He is not going to give up in this race. It should be an interesting heat. The takes go up. It's Olly Allen and Ben Barker that get to the first second bend first. Olly Allen, though, that swoop around the outside that the Rebels riders like to do, he does it to go into first, as does Todd Kurtz getting into third place. Todd Kurtz now chasing Ben Barker, who's holding on to second place. Ben Barker got the outside line at the moment. Todd Kurtz trying to come up the inside. There's going to be a battle going on now for second place between these 2 riders. But out in front, showing his class, showing his style and his experience, Olly Allen leading the way for the Rebels. Ben Barker holding on to second place. Todd Kurtz back in third place. So as it stands, this will be a shared heat with Ben Barker on the tactical ride, looking over his shoulder, seeing that Todd Kurtz isn't quite close enough to make any impact as they go into the final lap, and down the back straight for the final time in heat number 11. Out in front, about to come across and take the checker flag for the 3rd time this evening, Olly Allen. Second in white and black, Ben Barker, and one last attempt from Todd Kurtz. He held on to 3rd place for the Rebels. So, with that tactical ride paying off for the Devils in that race, it means it's a 4-all shared heat, making the progressive scores now 43 points to 25, still that 18-point difference, with the Rebels dominating at the moment. On to heat number 12 now. On the inside in yellow, Sam Simota for the Devils. Next to him in red, Brady Kurtz, Rasmus Jensen in white, and Paul Starke on the outside in blue. So as the tapes go up for this race, Brady Kurtz manages to get the drop on the other riders. His teammate in blue, Paul Starke, coming around the outside as well, but Rasmus Jensen putting up a fight in the white helmet colour. He's trying to get back underneath Paul Starke, but Paul just holding on there. The riders got awfully close on that home straight. Paul Starke coming out on top though, and now pulling away down that back straight. Brady Kurtz though out in front after that minor blip in his first outing. He's certainly come good. This will be his 2nd win of the evening, and a paid win as well from his 4 rides so far. As we go into the final lap then, this looks set to be another 5-1 for the Rebels, broken up by that shared heat in the previous race. Rasmus Jensen still trying his hardest to battle for 2nd place, but it looks like Paul Starke's just got it sewn up as the checker flag comes out. for the second time this evening for Brady Kurtz. Second in blue, Paul Starke, and third in white, Rasmus Jensen. Well, the wheelies are being pulled by Brady Kurtz already down that back straight after that superb 5-1 with his teammate Paul Starke. So that heat advantage for the Somerset Rebels means that they now go on to 48 points, with the Devils moving on to 26. They're extending their lead further and further as the heat meeting goes on. Well, Heat 13, we see the big guns out for both teams now in this race. Off the inside in red, Nick Morris for the Rebels. Next to him in blue, not in blue even, in white is Ben Barker. Off gate number 3 in blue, Olly Allen. And off the outside in yellow, James Wright. Now, James, the only rider not to get a win under his belt this evening. I'm sure he's going to want to change that in this race. We've seen some excellent riding from him in his debut back at the Oaktree, should we call it, after almost his year out last season. But the question on everyone's lips, I'm sure, is will Olly Allen manage to get that vital 4th win to get his maximum? We're so used to seeing him around the Oaktree getting maximums left, right and centre. Can he do it now up against some tough opposition? And the other question that I'm sure we're all thinking, can Somerset reach 60 points again this evening? Little bit of movement there from Olly Allen at the start, but he swoops back up the inside of both Ben Barker and attempting to go up the inside of his teammate. But wow, Ben Barker, where on earth did he come from? Going wide now. And now the Somerset riders colliding as well on that, coming out of that 4th bend. Everyone managing to hold onto the bike. James Wright also locking up on that 3rd and 4th bend, but Ben Barker, wow. What else can we say about that move? Absolutely spectacular swoop up the inside of the Rebels riders. He's now leading the way. This is what we expect to see from him. He's already got 1 win underneath his belt. He's going to add to it now in Heat 13 as we go into the final lap. Nick Morris holding on to 2nd place. Olly Allen holding on to 3rd place. James Wright now pulling up at the back. So as they come across the finish line, Ben Barker taking the win, Nick Morris getting 2nd. As you can see there, his steel shoe just trailing as well as he crosses the finish line. Still holding on just about to go back into the pits. And then 3rd in blue, Olly Allen. It looks like a few words maybe between the Somerset riders there after they did collide on that 3rd and 4th bend, both so eager to stop Ben Barker from getting that win. But that 3-all means the score's now going into heat number 14, 51 points to the Rebels, 29 to the Devils. On to the penultimate race then of this evening, heat number 14, off the inside in white, we see Kyle Newman. He's going to be looking to rectify his previous 2 races. He started off absolutely superbly with that win in his first outing, and then has managed to record a last place and a 3rd place in his other 2 outings from this evening. He's definitely going to be looking to go out on a high from this meeting. Next to him in blue, Todd Kurtz. Similar fashion to Kyle, he came out and won his first race and then scored 2 3rd places in his next outings. Gate number 3 in yellow, James Shanes, and off the outside in red, Pontus Aspgren. As the takes go up on these 4 riders, Kyle Newman gets the jump, tries to go wide. Pontus Aspgren looks like he's going to swoop around the outside. Todd Kurtz trying to get up the inside, but Kyle Newman holds onto the line and holds onto the lead. So we go down the home straight. Pontus now going around the outside of his own teammate, trying to get into 2nd place. Kyle Newman though still holding on out in front. So it's Kyle Newman from Pontus Aspgren in red and Todd Kurtz in blue. A much better ride from Kyle out in front. He made the gate and now he's not looking back as he goes down the back straight. He's comfortably out in front. Pontus is trying his hardest to get as close to him as possible, but with 1 lap left, I think Pontus is going to have to settle for second place. A shared heat once again, this time in heat number 14 as the checker flag comes out. Kyle Newman coming around to take his second victory of the evening, a mini wheelie as he goes over the finishing line. Pontus Aspgren in red takes second place, and third place in blue goes to Todd Kurtz. So another 3-all in that race means the progressive scores now going into the final race of the evening, 54 points to 32. Well, Kyle Newman getting a round of applause from both Devils and Rebels fans here at the Oaktree. Back to his winning form that we saw in the first outing, getting his second win of the evening in his final outing. The final race of this evening's meeting then, and it is already a victory to the Somerset Rebels. The Devils just looking to get some points back in this final race. So off the inside in red, Brady Kurtz. Next to him in white, Ben Barker. Gate number 3 in blue, Nick Morris. And off the outside in yellow, Kyle Newman. This will certainly be an interesting race. All 4 riders have shown some spectacular form this evening. They've given us some excellent racing, some amazing moves that we just didn't think would be able to be seen around the Oaktree Arena. And it's certainly been a night of fantastic speedway. Hopefully we're going to end on a high now with another brilliant race with these 4 riders. So we just wait for them all to come up to the tapes, getting themselves ready before this race. Tapes go up for the final time this evening. Brady Kurtz gets there, moves across, which allows Ben Barker to come up the inside, but Brady, is he going to go around the outside again? And at the back, Nick Morris just squeezing out Kyle Newman, but Kyle trying to go around the outside again. But Nick Morris almost going up the inside of Ben Barker, but now he's gone from second place to potentially last place. He's still going, it's back into third place. Allowed Ben Barker to come up and now comfortably get second place. Kyle Newman still trying his hardest. These riders at the back, it's all to play for. Second place now, it looks like there's going to be a battle. Ben Barker holding on at the moment. Nick Morris knows this track inside out though. He's going to try everything to get into second place to follow his partner home, Brady Kurtz, who's still out front, and extend his lead. Is this the time he's going to do it? He's going around the outside. Ben Barker's seen him. Can he shut him out on the final bend of Heat 15? He's coming back up the inside. Ben Barker just holding on. Another superb race here at the Oaktree Arena. We've really seen some cracking speedway tonight. Brady Kurtz, so we didn't really talk much about him in that race. He gated and then he went, leaving his teammate to do the battling for second place. But unfortunately it was Ben Barker that got second place, splitting the Rebels pairing. So Brady Kurtz takes the win. Ben Barker second place, third place going to Nick Morris. So the Rebels end on a heat advantage, 4 points to 2, meaning the final score for this evening's meeting, 58 points for the Rebels, 34 for the Devils. Now on to the victorious Somerset Rebels, who are just coming out on their victory lap. We'll now wait for them to come back in, take the camera down to the pits, if I can get down the ladders that is, and get a word with some of the riders. And it is he going to turn around? Charles Wright, it is you. So we were just talking before, what does that mean on your back?
Ride it like you stole it. Don't mean anything else.
Well, we saw a bit of that tonight. It was some really good racing from you and the rest of the Rebels team. You must be pretty happy with that performance.
Yeah, I mean, it was disappointing in that one when my chain come off, because I reckon I was on a 5-1. I would have passed my brother anyway, so. But yeah, I ended up on the night, end of the night good, so that's all that matters. So.
Would it have been even nicer, do you think, that the fact that it was going to be over your brother? He said that you were probably the more competitive one out of you both anyway, and you seem more words up about it than him.
No, I think both of us in our head wanted to beat each other. You know, we say you don't, but you want to be the best, so yeah.
And now it's a really busy period for you guys. You've got 5 meetings in the matter of 6 days. In this kind of weather as well, how is that going to affect you?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I've been doing all the driving myself, and it's a bit draining in this weather, but you just got to get on with it now. I mean, we're quite behind with the fixtures with a few rain-offs, so busy, but you have to cope with it. So.
And at the moment you're sat in 4th place, but with that win it's going to put you just still in 4th place, but a little bit closer to the top 3 now. What are your dreams for the end of the year? Where do you think you're realistically going to come?
We'll just get ahead for the playoffs and go from there, and that's all we've got to do, really. I mean, we can do it again. We have a good enough team. We just need to do a bit better away, but, you know, we haven't had a lot of away meetings lately, but with all these away meetings, we should be there in the end, so.
Well, fingers crossed. Well done for this evening.
Cheers, thanks.
So as everyone finishes packing up after this evening's meeting, it certainly was a clean sweep for the Somerset Rebels this evening. 58 points to 34 over the Plymouth Devils. Well, they certainly bounced back after their defeat at Ipswich last night, and as we've heard, it's onwards and upwards for the Rebels. So we hope to see you here again with ReRun Productions. See ya!